Hello everyone, I'm Jesus and welcome to the next episode of The Road to Old School MTG. I am joined here by a guest. Hello Jordan.
Hi, Jesus. How you doing?
Pretty good, thank you. Yourself?
Pretty good.
Good, I'm glad. All right, so Jordan, you are here because we met up again in the latest December Old School tournament from Dave's Time Warp, Cedar Grove, New Jersey. So to give a little background information, you were in a previous video with me where we were commentating on our match from the November tournament. We met up in round 4 of 4, so we ended up trying to play for first and second place because we both had 3-0 records up to that point, and you ended up winning 2-0. So you got first place. You were the winner of that tournament. I got second place. So that was last month, and now we met up in round 2 of the December tournament. So that's what we're going to be commentating on for today. But before anything, I want to mention just the rules that we participated in. So this is an Atlantic Old School tournament, gentlemen's rules. So no Mind Twist, no Library of Alexandria, and also proxy friendly. But the store had a no original art rule. So any proxies had to have a different art than the original art. And you got around that rule by putting post-it notes over the art, and then you drew over it. So if just explain that in case while we're watching the video and viewers are wondering why they might see some cards like that, that's the reason why. But that was a pretty creative way to get around it. All right, so I want to start by you commentating about the new changes that you made from the last tournament to this one, because last time we talked about that you were very happy with your deck in general, right? You ended up winning the tournaments, right? So of course you were very happy, but you wanted to try some minor changes. So I want to start with that, just what changes you made from the last tournament to this one. So let me just start sharing screen here and also sharing deck picks and all those good things. Okay, Jordan, I am sharing screen now. Can you see your deck pick?
I can see my deck pick. All right, so this is the standard counter burn package. You have some burn spells, you have some counter spells, and some good creatures. Except this list has a little bit of a twist to it, where you're adding a third color, and well, 4, right? Because I have a balance as well. But we have a little splash of green for Urnham Djinns in my 4-drop, and then we have also a regrowth. And before, I used to play in the spot of the Urnham Djinns. I used to play Darylors. I used to splash black, so it'd be Darylors and Demonic Tutor. But now we're trying Urnham Djinns and regrowths instead. The rest of the deck hasn't changed from last time, except for some of the lands. Those 3 taigas used to be Badlands, and that tropical island used to be a Underground Sea. Sideboard changes, I haven't made any changes. It's all the same.
Okay, okay, so that was still the same. Okay, yes, because we had mentioned, I remember previously that you were looking to beef up on the 4/4 stats of the Darylors, and of course now Urnhams are 4/5, so that hopefully makes a difference during the games. Okay, so that was your deck pick. Let me show mine. And yeah, so I remember from last time the changes that I mentioned, I did end up applying them. So first, for the mana base, I ended up putting in 4 Mishra's Factories. And the main reason I put in Factories is because I wanted to put in Suchis. So I have 2 Suchis right behind that Chaos Orb. I wanted to fit in 4 actually, because I ended up swapping out the 4 Juggernauts. So I wanted to put an equal amount of creatures in. But I was still afraid of the mana burn, right? So I figured 2 would still be a good trade-off. Plus, I did want to add all 5 Moxes this time. Last one, I only had the white, blue, and green Moxes. I didn't put the red or black one. But Those are the other two Juggernaut slots. I put in the other two Moxes because most tier 1 old school decks have all 5 Moxes in the deck, whether they use certain colors or not. And then let's see, yeah, those are the 2 changes. Factories, 2 Suchis, and then I boosted up to all 5 Moxes. Everything is the same, and then the sideboard is the same as well. All right, so we can jump into the video. We are counting our cards. I believe none of us mulliganed, and I am starting. I must have won the die roll. So I'm going to start things off. Factory, and I pass.
All right, let's see if I get my signature explosive starts with my turn 1 dibs.
Yeah, last one you had very strong starts both times. The second game you had a turn 1 dib. The first game you was ridiculous. You had 2 lands and 3 Moxes. All right, so yeah, slow start for both of us. I got a second turn Pixie. Now your turn.
Hopefully I get a second land drop here. It would suck to be stuck on 1. I don't think I would have kept a 1 land hand. So I know I have a second land here. And this is one of those proxies, right? With a sticky note and some scribbles, to follow the rules of the tournament.
Time warp, yeah. All right, so you chain lightning my Pixie. But yeah, so far it's going according to plan. You clear off the early threats. But I ramp into a third turn dib.
All right, and here I'm hoping to either have a Side Blast or my own dib. Let's see if I get either of those. A balance would be good too, actually, I think.
Okay, so no white though, so you drop a factory.
All right, so playing him now is, not the most ideal move because you have a dib that can block, you also have a factory that can block, and he himself cannot block.
True. Yeah. Yeah, he's strictly basically you have to clear the way for him to do much.
Yeah, it's I think creatures with a toughness greater than 1, he can't block. So.
Yeah, because I think the lore is that he's a coward, and so yeah, he never wants to die in combat.
Yeah.
So me, I dropped the land, so my ramp has been perfect. Second turn Pixie, third turn Dib, fourth turn Urnum. So now you're dropping another factory.
All right, so I finally get my dib, but it's 1 turn too late because you have your Urnum Jin. My orc can't block, so what else am I gonna do but swing with it, right?
Yeah, and then I'm not sure if you have a lightning bolt or not, so I choose not to block and take that damage. So here I'm giving Forest Walk to your Dib, and then that is the official Forest Walk token. So this, I mentioned before that actually I don't know if I mentioned, but yeah, I did bring up my mana count strictly for this because I wanted to always have a land drop, especially in those early turns, so that I always had something big to do. So here I have an Armageddon on turn 5, I believe.
And notice as you cast the Armageddon, the screen started to shake a little bit.
Was that
destroying all the lands?
Oh, that was your anger passing through the screen, through the table. And then I had a perfect follow-up with a land and a mox. So, and then I'm attacking. So yeah, I caught you with your pants down. You only have 1 land open. You can't really counterspell anything with that.
Yeah. This is probably the worst land I could have drawn.
Yeah.
And the main purpose of it, it's not even worth using it to strip because I need the land. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because maybe you can get enough for Side blast or something, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, ideally you want red right now. So yeah, we're just holding off with the dips, but I can still attack with the Urnums. So that's what I'm doing. You are F8 right now. I drop a land, and I pass. You drop to 7.
All right. So I have 2 turns to come up with some sort of a plan here. Looks like I passed. No land drop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Armageddon has been very effective. Yeah. Of course, I got lucky that the land that you drew next was strip mine. So of course, luck always comes into play as well. So here I'm trying to flood the board so that way I can get you in the next one. But yeah, you can see by this point, yeah, that Armageddon was perfectly timed, and then I had a good follow up after that, and then I also got lucky that you didn't get any colored mana after that, right? The only mana you had was a strip mine, which didn't really help. And this is game 2. So I'm not sure if we mentioned, but you won this is the second round of the tournament, right? So you did win your first game, right?
I won my first game. Yeah.
Yeah, me too as well, right? So yeah, so we happened to see each other earlier this time around. All right.
So this is what these are the types of plays that I like that I like my deck to do in the beginning, right? But this is a risky move here because I'm spending, I'm wasting my Lotus, and if you have an answer to that Ernie, then I'm screwed, right? Because that puts me 2 cards behind.
Yeah, and then I do happen to have exactly. So you went first, so you didn't get that draw, and then you went all in on the Urnum, and then I got the draw, and then I was able to right away deal with it with my own sword. So yeah, so you're basically 2 cards behind because of that, taking that gamble. But I mean, you got to take it. That's why the Urnums are there.
Exactly, because if you didn't have that swords, he could have dealt 12 damage before you had an answer.
Exactly. So here I would have had a factory, but it could have only chump blocked. I couldn't have, yaps. Yeah, I could chump block at best between the pixie and the factory. So yeah, you played it right. Here I'm taking a burn because I used the mana from the Soul Ring. I had 1 floating, but I didn't want to activate my factory because I was afraid you had a lightning bolt. So now it's your turn. You drop a mace. So that must have come from the sideboard then, right?
Yeah. I sideboarded that in. Funnily enough, I did not sideboard in Blood Moons. I just stopped sideboarding in Blood Moons against you because you play too many basic lands now. You learned your lesson. So.
Yep, I did. Oh, so here I Ancestral, but my hand was right over my deck, but then you told me nope, and you counterspelled. But I follow it up with an Urnum. So either one of those 2 spells we're solving, I would have been happy with. Hindsight, would you have counterspelled the Urnum, or you still should have counterspelled the Ancestral?
Honestly, I have my Maze of Ith, so
true.
I still think Ancestral was the best thing to counter.
Yeah. Okay. So now you tap out for a dib. So same thing like last one, right? You're playing good spells, but you're 1 turn behind, right? So I always have a bigger creature, and you respond with a smaller creature.
Exactly.
So you need your own Urnum instead of. But I mean, you couldn't have cast your own Urnum anyway because you only had because of the maze doesn't make mana. Oof. So both games, I'm like pulling that Armageddon out. I have 1 float. Oh no, this time. I do have 1 floating. And then I follow up with a second Pixies, and then you have no mana, so I know you can't bolt it and block. So I'm just attacking with the Urnum again.
Yeah, and at this point, I have to hope that I can rebuild.
Okay, so that's tag it. That makes red and white, right?
Red and green.
Oh, red and green. Oh, okay. Because right now the balance is the only thing that could save you. But even then, right, I would still keep my Urnum. But it'd be it'd be better than what you're currently dealing with. Yeah, I'm getting lucky both times with the Armageddons. You drop one land, but then that's it. And then I was able to follow up. Well, I have a land and a Soul Ring. Oops, another. Yeah, once I hit that 4 mana, the only things I need 5 mana for is the 2 Ceras, but everything else I can cast with 4. Yeah, you're just passing. So I have a Suchi from last turn. So I'm contemplating just attacking with everything, but you know, you have that red open, and I don't want to be greedy, so I think I just end up attacking with just the bigger guys. Okay, so I must have like a regrowth or something. I'm looking through my graveyard.
So the only hope I have here would be a balance, and even then, you know, you would still keep your best creature. I would still keep my best creature. It's just,
Well,
it's
not
not
anymore.
looking good for me. Yeah,
Well,
not
now,
anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good thing that you did kill it, because now it would kill all my creatures now if you cast it.
If
So-
I draw a balance.
Exactly.
But I need a white source and I need a balance. Let's see if I get that.
Sure, yeah. So I know this. I know that the balance is the only thing that could save it. So I regrowth for a factory, and I play the factory because I didn't do a land drop. In case you balance, I would keep my factory so I can still
And hey,
attack.
you saw that? I top decked the white source. Here comes the balance. And nope, I didn't have it.
Yeah, you just earthquake for 1, but by that point, yeah, you need a bigger earthquake. Okay. All right, so I ended up going 2-0 against you, so I did get my revenge from last one. So let's go now into reviewing your deck again. So,
sure. So like I said, like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, I went from Darrellors to Urnham Jins, but one thing I noticed in this tournament is I completely forgot about City in a Bottle. That's a card, you know, and people see Ernie's, people see Dibs, you know, they're just going to bring it in. And, you know, if you look at my deck, I have 4 Dibs plus 2 Ernie's plus the 3 City in a Bottle. That's 9 total cards, you know, that they can take out with 1 card. So, you know, because of that, I'm deciding going forward to switch back. You know, I'm going to take those Ernie's, turn them back into Darrellors, take that regrowth, turn it back into a Demonic Tutor. And, you know, as you saw, the Ironclaw Orcs were kind of disappointing in my matchup against you. So I'm going to try something new. I'm going to go with Sedge Trolls. And also, you know, it's taking advantage of the fact that I'm splashing black anyway. So I have 4 black lands. So, you know, there's a chance that those 2/2s could become 3/3s. So, you know, that's something that I'm going to be experimenting with going forward.
Understood. Yeah, because the reason you have the Lords to begin with is because you're splashing black, right? So it just makes sense that you make that investment even more worth it, right? So yeah, that's really a great option. Sedge Trolls are an old school staple. Right, traditionally they go in a disc control, right, with the Nevinyrral's Disc, but honestly it's just an all-around great creature. With the black mana, they turn into 3/3s, plus that regeneration is crucial because there is very little regeneration in old school. There are other regenerating creatures, but you know the stats usually is not worth playing them. But the troll is the exception. Trolls do constantly get used, and definitely I can see that regeneration coming into play a lot. So okay, so yeah, those changes make sense. So in terms of, for me, let me just switch it up. Okay, so here is my deck pick, and for me, I'm just going to. So I was happy with the main deck. I have a balance in the sideboard, so I think that might be one difference I make, where the balance goes instead of the second Armageddon. But honestly, if you notice, I won because of the Armageddons, right?
Yeah.
Both games. I don't think Armageddon on either one game from the November tournament. So, but I think you were up ahead the whole time anyway. So that, I'm not gonna Armageddon if I'm behind. Oh,
Yeah,
actually, yeah,
usually I don't worry about your Armageddons because I can usually, my spell cost is pretty low. It's 2 drops, 3 drops. I can usually recover afterwards, but this time around your Armageddons were really well placed.
true, yeah, and also both times I also got lucky. I believe you only made one land drop after my Armageddon's both games. The first game you just dropped a strip mine. The second game you dropped the tiger, and I think that's it, right? So,
Yeah.
of course, luck always plays into it. So yeah, that's why I'm just hesitant to take out that third Armageddon because like it does come into play. So I may take out something else, but yeah, that balance should go in here. I've been advised to put in a mana drain, which makes sense. And I am going to change up the sideboard quite a bit actually. I want to put in Javelineers to go against other Winnie decks, right? That have pixies, other Javelineers, Savannah Lions. That is also another deck type that gives me issues. So I may do that. But for the most part, I definitely am liking the progression of my deck from month to month. But so, okay, so now we know what you're going to be changing. And hopefully either whether we do it from during the January tournament or even before then, right? Because we tend to meet up on Fridays anyway at Time Warp. I'm definitely happy to test out any changes that you're willing to make. Likewise as well, I want to try a couple of different things and maybe we can help each other out to better prepare for the January tournament.
Yeah, for sure, of course.
All right, and thank you, Jordan, for coming here again, giving your time to make this video.
My pleasure.
All right, and thank you everyone for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.